Brighton up next in the FA Cup at Old Trafford. We should have won against Burnley, no question about that, but we didn't. So who will Darren Fletcher choose in what might be his only game as United boss at Old Trafford? Let's talk about the team news, Fletcher's press conference, and have a conversation about a few young players. I know there's a lot going on at our football club, the chaos, the madness. Let's focus on the football for this game. And I'll tell you what, a little bit of a distraction, a nice distraction from the Premier League in the FA Cup. Going to run through Darren Fletcher's press conference, team news, my prediction. Let me know your prediction in the comments. Will United beat Brighton at Old Trafford again? I was at that game at Old Trafford. 4-2, 3-0 up at half-time. Then we went into cruise control. We made some subs. Dorgy made that mistake. 3-1, Welbeck, 3-2. And Boom, I made it 4. I'd take a 4-2 again. Now, as I said there quickly, can I just say this? Look at this game as not as a distraction is probably the best way to describe it. But I'd love a cup run. It would just be a love. Like last season we had the Europa League. You can kind of let's kind of ignore what's going on in the league. Let's just enjoy what we're seeing in the Europa. Is that how I'm going to look at the FA Cup? No, because the league's not done yet, but it will be our third final in 4 years if we get there. That would be nice. So, in terms of Darren Fletcher, I think I've already said this a few times. I know I have. Enjoy it, man. For him to walk out as United manager is going to be a memory that just is locked in forever for him, and I hope that he brings the energy, and I think he will. Right. In terms of the team, I'd like the press conference. One thing, I enjoyed watching Fletcher sort of speak out about VAR, about Kyle Walker's stamp on Dorgan that didn't really get looked at, or the penalty that should have been given. No, the penalty that wasn't. No, penalty. Who am I kidding? The goal that was disallowed, that shouldn't have been disallowed. It's good to hear a United manager calling out the bad decisions because it just hasn't happened for a long time. But here, speaking about the academy. How much of the academy will get used in this game? I don't know, but I think there will be changes. Let's run through them, all right? So this was a team, the United team that played against Burnley. That's the Brighton team that played against City. I think they're probably going to make some changes. I don't know whether... I'll tell you who you definitely will see start this game, of course. I'm sure is he fit? I'm pretty sure he's fit. Danny Welbeck probably coming in there. I don't know what other changes they're going to do, but Fabian Herzl has said they're going to be doing some rotation. In terms of rotation from United, there's questions I've got about. Let's have a look. Right, Martinez, Casemiro, and I'd probably say Dorgu are probably going to be where I'm looking to make changes in this team. So let's run through them. All right. First things first, Martinez. Do you think Martinez will be fit to play 2 games in 4 days? Maybe. Do I need to take this risk at this point ahead of this derby? No, I don't. Martinez on the bench. Heaven moving across. Yoro coming in. It feels like I wouldn't say an obvious change. It might not happen. Martinez may well be fit to play this game. But would I take that risk ahead of the derby? I just wouldn't. I just mitigate that risk. Other than that, I'm not changing the back 5. Lemond's in goal. Shaw and Delow as the 2 fullbacks. Who else can you even play there? Nobody really. Anyway, moving into midfield. Casemiro. This feels like the game for Cobby. Right? If I'm being completely honest, I don't really think he did that much when he came on against Burnley. But I always hate this position that fringe players get in. That when they come on, they've got to go way above and beyond with their performance to try and force their way back into the team. But that's kind of the situation that Cobby's in, which is why I would like to see him start a game rather than coming off the bench to try and impact a game. I don't think he had too much of an impact against Burnley, but start him there instead of Casemiro. Again, same thing. Casemiro, if I'm going to choose one game he's going to be fit for, I'm choosing the derby. Just leave him off. I don't think there's any point playing Casemiro. I'll be honest, our midfield got ran through so badly against Burnley. It's not the first time, won't be the last time. It's just a given. Absolute given. I'm probably going to be moving that position a little bit further down there on the pitch. But Bruno, I suppose there's a question about Bruno as well, isn't there? 17 days I think he was out with a hamstring injury, which is not a long time. Do I think he'll play 90 minutes? No. Do I think he'd prefer to start rather than coming off the bench? Probably. I think Darren Fletcher will listen to him. So I'd actually predict that Bruno would stay in that position as the number 10 and that Mount will come on. Same sort of thing we saw against Burnley, maybe around the 60-minute mark. Changes I would make up front, though. It was an interesting decision from Fletcher to play Cunha on the right and Dorgu on the left. Presumably, he just wanted some crosses into the box. Well, it worked because Dorgu got that cross in for Šeško second. But I would probably make this change. Now, I don't know whether this is going to happen, and this might just be me wanting it to happen rather than it actually happening. But I'm bringing in Lacey from the start on that right wing. You could see Mason Mount there. You could see Dorgu play there, because probably his best performance this season has come there against Newcastle. But I just want Lacey to get the chance. I think the way that he played when he came on against Villa and the way he played against Burnley, like Fletcher said it after the game, just go out there and express yourself. Do what you normally do. And he did. And he deserved a goal. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking Fletcher's coming here in his only game as United boss at Old Trafford. It feels like he's going to... Lacey's already had his debut, but he's not started a game. I might be wrong, all right? And it might just be wishful thinking. But I'd love to see Lacey come and start this game on that right wing. I'm trying to... Like, you could play Xerxes there. You could conceivably do Cunha and Dorgu there, but I don't think that really worked that much against Burnley, so I'm not sure why I'd repeat it. Sorry, I'm playing him there. And I'll tell you who else I want to speak about. It was so satisfying watching Šeško shove those comments from Neville and Sherwood down their throats with 2 goals against Burnley. I feel like he probably needed that on a personal level. I would keep him in this team. Let him try and score another 1, 2. Sod it. 3 goals against Brighton. It was good to see him in some form there. Some really, really good finishing, by the way. Both finishes against Burnley were top draw. Second one in particular. But that's my team. The changes I'm making, I'm bringing Kobe in for Casemiro, and I'm bringing Yoro in for Martinez. And actually 3. And then Lacey in for Dorgu. They're the 3 changes that I would make. I don't know what team Brighton's going to play. Like, if you watched how they played against City, man, they play fire with fire. They nearly got caught out twice playing out from the back with the ball. They're probably going to do that to United as well. Brighton like to invite you forward. They like to say, look, come and press us, and then we'll play through you. Whether United will be baited by that press or not, I don't know. But we weren't against Brighton at Old Trafford early this season, which is what surprised me. We really kind of sat off them, and we didn't get sort of sucked in to try and press high up the pitch on their goalkeeper and winning the ball there. And it worked because we were kind of sat compact. How do I think we're going to play in this game? Probably quite similar to how we played against Burnley. Yeah, we did more than enough to win in that game. My prediction for this one? I'm going for a 3-1 United. Sod it. I'm going Lacey starting. I'm going Kobe starting. Because it feels like the right time for Kobe to start. And I don't think, well, Casemiro and United didn't do enough. And Casemiro actually made mistakes. Big mistakes. Led directly to a goal against Burnley. Give Kobe his opportunity to start a game rather than coming off the bench. It's a different circumstance in the game. FA Cup. Come on, United. Give us a cup run. Because this season in the league, much to be desired. 3-1's my prediction. They're my changes. What's yours?